And I want to say hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Concession Stand. I'm here with my sister, Yowie Mom.
Hi.
And my brother, Nux.
Hello.
And I'm not here with Zenrot. Zenrot had something come up, but we wanted to get this out on Halloween. So I tagged in my brother and sister, who were just coming. One was coming home, and the other one was just kind of laying around doing Nux stuff. So you can kind of guess who was doing the laying around.
Me?
Yes. But we're here to talk about, you guys like scary movies?
Yes.
I've only watched one of them.
Well, congratulations, because we're going to be talking about Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 3. We are skipping Scary Movie 2.
Well, I watched the first one.
I watched the second one.
And I've seen all of them, every single one of them. So it'll be great as we talk about this. Let me give a quick rundown of Scary Movie 1. Also, this was suggested by someone. We had a bunch of different, we had actual good movies to pick, but we picked Scary Movie.
Why?
Because...
Thank you,
the
person
leprechaun.
who suggested this.
Yes, shout outs to the person who suggested Scary Movie.
I gave you Leprechaun in the Hood.
You give me Leprechaun... I thought you gave me Leprechaun in Back to the Hood.
I gave you both.
Well, either way, that's skipping a lot of Leprechaun movies. Anyway, that's enough about...
Leprechaun movies.
Okay, first of all, I'm not going to get into this with you right now. I'm going to get into this explanation of Scary Movie.
Okay.
Alright then, let's see. The movie starts... If you don't know, these are supposed to be parodies of a lot of horror movies, so the movie starts with, I believe it's Carmen Electra. It's a parody of the start of Scream, which is what this is, the big thing is based off of. Ghostface is like, I'm gonna kill you, bitch. And he removes one of her boobs, and then she gets murdered when her parents run her over because her father was getting head by the mother. And that's the opening of the movie. And then the next morning, there's Cindy, her boyfriend Bobby, her friend Brenda, Ray, Greg, and a lady named Buffy. They're all there. Everyone's trying to figure out what the hell happened up in this murder. There's one of them has a brother who's a part of the police force named Doofy. He's not very smart. He's stupid. Anyway, Cindy starts getting weird stuff, they want to kill her. And then people start getting killed off one by one. They start going they start to say I think that I forget what was it. They ran over a man, and then that's the reason. That's what they think is if you ever seen Scream, and What I Did Last Summer, it's basically that. At a beauty pageant, I forget her fucking name is.
Carrie?
Not Carrie, it's the pretty one. I want to say Buffy. Either way, her boyfriend starts getting killed, and she starts screaming for help. Nobody helps him because they think it's part of her performance, and she wins the beauty pageant that way as he's getting killed. She celebrates, and she forgets that her boyfriend was killed right in front of her. Cindy goes home, and she's attacked by Ghostface. She locks herself in, and so the movie tries to make it seem like Bobby did it, because Bobby gets arrested he shows up right afterward with a knife and all that other stuff. So then she decides to hang out with Buffy and Doofy for the night, and Ghostface continues to mock her, so it's not Bobby. So Bobby is released from jail. Buffy gets high on her victory, and she doesn't want to say hey, there's no killer, and then she gets killed by Ghostface. And then Ray and Brenda, that's right, so there's a black couple, that's Ray and Brenda. They go to see Shakespeare in Love. Ray, throughout the entire movie, is hinted to be gay, because he acts very gay. That's one of the Wayans brothers, that's the one that's not getting high all the time, because there's two of them. Anyway, he puts his ear through a bathroom stall, and he gets a dick through the ear.
Oh, I remember this movie.
Yeah, now you remember this movie?
Yep.
And then Brenda she starts talking for the movie, and when Ghostface is going to kill her, she ends up getting killed by a bunch of angry movie people, and they kill her before Ghostface can, so he just kind of sits there eating popcorn. So now there's a bunch of people dead. Bobby and Cindy have sex for some reason. I want to say because he's been wanting to have sex with her the entire time. Ghostface shows up and stabs Bobby and disappears. Cindy gets a gun. Bobby is trying to tend to his wounds. Shorty comes out from underneath the basement. And I want to say that then Bobby takes the gun and shoots Shorty. So now Shorty is dead as well. and they kind of reveals that he has been working with Ray the entire time. So I don't remember why they're working together. They just are. I think they're copycat serial killing, and I think it's hinted that Bobby is gay for Ray, but Ray isn't gay. And then Ray, it's basically a parody of Scream. So if you've seen Scream, you understand why they're doing this. Otherwise, it just kind of makes no sense. That's when Ray starts stabbing Bobby because they canceled the Wayans Brothers, which is a show. And so he ends up being dead after he's like, well, now I have to stab you to make it look like an accident. And he's like, nah, fool, you ain't stabbing me. I ain't getting stabbed. And then the real Ghostface shows up and then stabs him. Then Cindy has like a Matrix fight in him, which really doesn't look very good. And then Ghostface goes away. The police arrive and they're like, who could it have done? And then at the end, it's revealed basically that Doofy was behind it all. And then she screams and then gets hit by a car. So as he's going away, he starts like, oh, she starts going, no. And then she gets hit by a car and runs over. And then in a post-credits scene, Shorty is there and he's giving tips how to survive a horror movie. And then he ends up like, you think that's what he's trying to say is like, this is how you survive a horror movie. But it turns out he's just like robbing a place and that's how the movie ends. And that is Scary Movie 1. What are your thoughts of Scary Movie 1? Nux.
It's all right. I mean, no. No, I'll give my opinion after you go to Puppet.
I remember seeing it, but I don't remember liking it. I like the second one.
I'm also going to agree with that. That I remember liking Scary Movie 2 way more than Scary Movie 1. I will say Scary Movie 1 does have one good joke in that when they're waiting for the trailer, it's I think it was at the time that there was a slave movie called Amistad, and there was a trailer for Amistad 2, Slaves Fight Back. It was really funny, and that's the funniest thing about the movie is that parody trailer for what would have been a much more funny parody. But really, yeah, that's kind of... Just to give a quick rundown, this is like the movies that are parodied. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, The Sixth Sense, Blair Witch, The Shining, and The Usual Suspects. The only non-horror movie in there is The Usual Suspects, because that is a mystery movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of just... I kind of see what they're going for. And again, the other funny thing is when he does start stabbing that guy because they canceled the Wayans Brothers. Because it's funny. I like the Wayans Brothers show. It was okay.
I do too.
I never watched it.
You weren't alive when the Wayans Brothers show was on, Nux.
I wasn't alive for most of it.
Yeah, or you weren't watching enough BET, because that's where I saw a lot of the Wayans Brothers. I mean, yeah. So now, that's my thought about it. That's yours, Nux. Give us your detailed impression on Scary Movie 1.
Scary Movie 1?
Yes.
It's technically the only one I've watched out of the whole trilogy of scary movies. It was decent, but I really haven't watched the others, so I can't really compare it to any other scary movie. I mean, the only really part I liked about that whole movie was, I forgot.
It's a memorable ass movie.
Is Scary Movie 1 the one with the Ray fucked me joke?
No, that's Scary Movie 2.
Aww.
Scary Movie 2 has Ray fucked me. Ray fucked me.
This is slowly turning into a Scary Movie 2 review instead of one.
I love Scary Movie 2.
Scary Movie 2. Alright, let me give a quick rundown. We're not doing Scary Movie 2 for some reason. Me and Zen discussed it. I think it was basically that we were doing 1, and then the reason I wanted to talk about 3 is for a very specific reason, and we'll get to it once we get to Scary Movie 3. Which I think is now. I don't think anyone else has any, like...
No, we love Scary Movie 2.
We love Scary Movie 2. If you're gonna see a scary movie, see Scary Movie 2.
Of a scary movie.
If you're gonna see any of the, like, 16 fucking Scary Movies series...
16?
There's, like, 16. There's not 16 of them. There's, like, 10.
There's like 6.
There's, like, 6.
16.
Film series. Okay, we got, it's 1 through 4. You guys are exaggerating. Yeah, it's only 1 through 4.
There's way more than 4. There's way more than 4 fucking scary movies. Anyway, we're gonna start talking about Scary Movie 3 now, because now you're just looking up other movies in the Scary Movie franchise.
Which is just the 4.
Do you remember in Scary Movie 2 when they had the basketball dance off?
Alright, tell us about your favorite scene in Scary Movie 2, the basketball dance scene.
So, in Scary Movie 2, my favorite scene is when they're all dancing with the basketball. And then there's one part where the guy in the wheelchair spins around on his head.
He does do that.
And I saw that and I thought, wow, what a mood.
What an absolute unit of a movie.
Yep.
And that's your quick rundown of Scary Movie 2. So let's do Scary Movie 3 now. The movie no one here remembers seeing. Except for me. So, alright, Scary Movie 3, it opens up with Jenny McCarthy and Pamela Anderson talking to about a cursed tape. One of them says, like, oh, it's a sex tape, and then Pamela Anderson's like, no, fucking idiot, it's a cursed tape. You die if you see it. And then, I want to say both of them end up dying in there, and then it cuts to Charlie Sheen and his brother George, and they discover a crop circle, and it says attack here. And then they notice a dog is like acting strange because he's driving a tractor or getting stoned. And then it cuts to Cindy Campbell, the same character from the first Scary Movie, because she's the second. More importantly, she's in the second one. She's now a news reporter. She dyed her hair blonde. She announces the crop circles on the news. She starts to she picks up her nephew Cody and her best friend Brenda, who is the same lady from the one black lady who's in For Out of All. She plays her friend. Anyway, she is like his teacher, and then when George is picking up his niece, which is a little girl,
I remember
Sue.
this movie now.
Yes, Cindy and George fall in love, and then George invites her to a rap battle with his rap friends, which is Miley, which is Anthony Anderson, and CJ, which is Kevin Hart. George does really good at his rap battle, and then he gets disqualified because he starts saying the N-word. Oh wait, no, he starts looking like weird, like racist stuff. Like he puts his hood up, and it looks like he's a part of the KKK. And so he gets disqualified. I want to say this. I got this scene confused with the one in Malibu's Most Wanted, where they throw him into a garbage truck full of white bread.
Oh yeah.
That's a different movie. Stay tuned for our Malibu's Most Wanted cast.
Malibu represent.
Represent Malibu. Be red. Anyway, so now they have a cursed videotape. They start watching it, and then like some weird stuff. Something comes out of the TV, and she fights Brenda, and then Brenda is killed. Since Cindy is like ignoring like all the terrible shit she's going through. George then tells his niece about the death, which is one of the funniest scenes, where he's like, it's like, you remember your teacher Brenda? Yeah. She's dead! She's not coming back! She's dead like your dog! My dog is dead! Your dog! I ran it over!
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember that. It's a great scene, and so that ends. They're at the wake. Someone, I forget. I think Cindy says to her like the dude she's taking care of the little kid, and she says like, "Oh, she's just sleeping." And then George is like, "She's just sleeping," so she starts slapping the body around, trying to wake her up. And then Anthony Anderson comes in. He's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" He's like, "No, she's alive." And he's like, "What?" And they try and revive her, and they blow up her body by putting like they tried to give her like the electric shock They blow up the body, and he says, "That's the last time I ever tried to bring a body back from somebody back from the dead." Then Cindy watches the tape, and then she gets a phone call that she'll die in a week. She then calls George, so she can get CJ and Malik to help. They go to CJ's aunt, played by Queen Latifah. In another Matrix parody, she's there with Eddie Griffin, who is Orpheus. They agree to watch the tape, and then that lady comes out from the window, and then Queen Latifah fights that girl for a bit, I want to say. Or no, she just kind of punches her. Anyway, Cindy goes back, she starts investigating the tape, because Cody ended up watching the tape, so now Cody's gonna die. She tells everyone, like, don't show the video, and then her boss is like, we're gonna show the video to everyone. And so they show the video to everyone. And then Charlie Sheen is at his house, and then he starts fighting an alien Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, the one in the room, right?
Yes, exactly. The one in the room. And then they cut to the president, played by Leslie Nielsen, who is like... They're basically telling him, yo, the aliens are coming. And then Cindy goes and visits the architect, and she tells about, like, basically what happened to cause the evil tape. And then the aliens are coming down, and the aliens, it looks like they're gonna kill everyone. Oh, no, what happens is that the architect accidentally, like, he had the cursed tape, and then he returned it because he thought it was a video of Pootie Tang. So,
Great movie.
Great movie, Pootie Tang, fantastic film. So then Pootie Tang, but the cursed video of Pootie Tang goes out, and it basically starts unleashing the curse, and then the aliens are coming down. They come down, and they think they're going to destroy the race. So then CJ gets a bunch of, like, rappers together, because as he said, the hood always has your back, and then they get into a skoo shuffle, and the rappers kill themselves before the aliens can come fight. And then when the aliens come down, they take a shovel, they cock the shovel, they knock one of the aliens' heads off, and they deliver the classic line, their weakness is their heads. They can just be taken off. And the aliens go, wait, no, we're not here to attack you. What happened was that we accidentally did a broadcast of the cursed video to our entire people because we thought it was Pootie Tang. So then you learn that the aliens are coming specifically to stop the cursed video. So at the farm where they are, because they're now hanging out in George's house, she realizes this is the same place where Tabitha drowned, and then she, like, tries to save Tabitha, and then it doesn't end up happening because she ends up being, like, kind of evil anyway. And then they finally are able to, like, they knock her back into the well after the president shows up and accidentally hits her back into the well. The aliens are saved. They leave in peace. This is where you learn that all the aliens pee out their fingers. Mm-hmm. Cindy and George get married. And then they're like, oh no, we left behind Cody, and Cody is running behind the car. And the movie ends as they back up and hit Cody. And the movie just ends right there. And it's similar to the endings of both Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 2. And that is Scary Movie 3. Huh. Yeah, so let me just do a quick rundown. All the parodies that are in Scary Movie 3. It is The Ring, it's Signs, it's Matrix, Malibu's Most Wanted, The Matrix Reloaded, 8 Mile, Minority Report, Basketball, The Lord of the Rings, The Sixth Sense, The Others, Pootie Tang, Airplane, Air Force One, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So yeah, that's Scary Movie 3. Having never seen it, Nux, give us your impression of what you think Scary Movie 3 is.
It's a movie that parodies The Ring for the most part, with the whole cursed video part. But in the middle of it, there is Morpheus, and they just do the Matrix again. And then it goes into an alien Michael Jackson for some reason.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they save the day. Except for the guy who gets run over at the end.
Cody lives.
What? And what?
Yeah.
What? Then what's the point of showing the whole run over scene?
Throughout the entire movie, the kid keeps getting fucked up in various ways. So that's why it's there.
Oh.
He gets beat up a bunch. But that's your impressions of Scary Movie 3, having just heard my brief summary of it.
Yeah.
Yowie, what do you feel about Scary Movie 3?
What I remember... I wish. No, there was a part in the movie where I think it's George wanted to play with Cody, and he picks him up and he, like, hits him on the roof of the hallway, and then that poor kid is, like, being ragdolled all the way around, and Cody's just like, ah. Oh, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. Yeah, the movie does very good in that it's... Let me just say right now, the movie's not good, but the movie is funny. It has a lot of stupid fucking scenes. It has the whole 8 Mile subplot. I skipped the part where they parody, I think, Brokeback Mountain. Or is that in Scary Movie 3? Is that in Scary Movie 4? Where AJ and whatever... No, there's a parody of 8 Mile, where if you remember the scene of 8 Mile where they're, like, shooting paintballs at him, they start throwing paint at people. And then they give George, and goes like, here, you do it. And they give him a whole paint bucket, and he just throws the bucket outside, and it hits a dude on the head, and then he falls over.
I remember.
And then they go like, oh, dude, I'm sorry.
I remember.
Basically, everything with George is really funny.
It is.
Just because the actor playing George is like selling it to his heart's content, just trying to make it funny. Same thing goes for Anthony Anderson and CJ as those two black dudes who they show up in the other movies because they're really funny. They have like really weird conversations. But in general, the movie is like, this is where the scary movies stop being kind of about horror movies.
Just about pop culture.
Yeah, so I think the best way I could describe it as is Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 2, and I'm not saying they're as good as this, but they're like early Treehouse of Horror episodes from The Simpsons, where everything, like, they usually just keep to like horror and thriller for the most part. But then Scary Movie 3 is like modern Treehouse, where it's like one horror movie and the rest are just movie parodies for some reason. And it doesn't make any sense. Like,
I think was the Scary Movie 4 the one with they did the Paranormal Activity with the Annabelle? Do you remember?
No, it wasn't 4. 4 is the one with War of the Worlds.
Oh, so then maybe it's 5. But regardless, I feel as though during that time there wasn't a lot of horror movies that could be parodiable, so they just kind of used pop culture and made it funny. Like Disaster Movie. You remember Disaster Movie?
I do remember Disaster Movie. That's another movie that's very bad, but we find hilarious for some reason.
But that one they used that, almost like Cloverfield-esque, Earthquake-esque, but I mean they had like Kim Kardashian, Juno. It was just like a mixture of everything and trying to make it funny.
Yeah. But no like overarching theme just for whatever. I also say this is the one where it starts. The reason the Wayans brothers aren't in this movie is because they stopped being the writers for them at this point. Because in the beginning, Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 2 were written by, one is the Wayans brothers, who also made other parody movies. Like they made Don't Be a Menace to South Central While You're Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. An amazing parody movie because it's hilarious. It makes fun of all the Hood films. And then the other people, I forget what they made, but they also made parody movies, but it was like different kind of like clashes of style. So then the people who were making Scary Movie or the company were like, why don't you just all get together and then you'll just make one big ass movie. So then they did, but starting from Scary Movie 3, they had, I'm going to assume, creative differences and just stopped like working together. Yeah. Which happens, and you can definitely feel Scary Movie 3 is different from 1 and 2 from that point on.
Oh yeah.
Like there's entire tone changes and it's just like not the same at that point. But I would say that you could still find, if you can just like really like dumb fucking movies, Scary Movie 3 is maybe one of the funniest dumb fucking movies out there.
It really is.
It's like hard to like, these types of movies are hard just because on a base level they're just not very good. But they're funny, which is kind of more important. It's similar in the ways that I would say Jackass isn't a good movie, but goddammit, are those movies not hilarious to me?
So bad that it's good.
Yes, but also not that far. Yes, actually, I'll say it's that far. It's that far. Even though I think some of the things that they're doing are intentionally trying to make me laugh, like, for some reason, having Pootie Tang be a plot point is pretty funny.
I love Pootie Tang.
I love Pootie Tang, too.
Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang, Pootie Tang. Let me tell you about Pootie Tang. I only did it for her ass. I wanted to tell Pootie I was sorry. Pootie, I'm sorry. Gorilla attack! Ah, gorilla! And that's been my short summary of Pootie Tang.
Pootie Tang.
Okay.
Pootie.
But yeah, that's kind of the Scary Movie stuff. I think we got finished with it pretty quickly. Mainly because you guys don't remember anything about Scary Movie. And I was planning to talk about this with Zen. So how about we just do it very quick, because I want to, as thank you, I'm going to give you guys a platform. We'll let you guys tell me about what you like about Halloween and stuff, because this is a Spooktacular.
Okay.
So, which one? I'll go first so you guys have more time to think about it.
I like Halloween because I like candy.
Okay. Change of plans, I guess. We're gonna start with Yaoi Body. She's gonna tell us.
All right. I love Halloween because I am a fall child. I was born in the fall. And I think anything that is spooky is good, like Satan. And
Yaoi loves Satan.
And there's some type of vibe in the air when it's not only when it's fall, but when it's Halloween. And it's just a nice environment to be in. You know, you get to carve pumpkins, or you get to eat candy, you get to go out, you get to like step on people's lawns, and it's just, I like it. It's like very ghouly and goblin-y, and that's my aesthetic. And then I get to dress up.
And it's accepted.
And it's accepted.
And loved.
Yeah, but I mean, I can still do that at home, and my mom wouldn't say anything.
No, it's true, she wouldn't.
Okay.
Alright, that's you. And now I'm going to give it to Nux, who is currently in the dark. At some point, the TV turned off, and now it just looks like you're a very spooky man. And I'm going to give you this mic. I'm going to give you mic time. Here you go.
So, in general, I like the Halloween time because of the atmosphere that comes around. It's usually more darker, and I prefer clouds more than the sun. You know, a lot of horror movies come out during the day and night that I could just watch because there's actually something to watch on TV now. And then I also like the whole that it's basically Satan.
I'm starting to think that we're endorsing Satan.
We always have.
Damn, you're right.
Our
cat is named Lucifer.
Yep.
Yeah. His name is Lucifer Boyo.
Oh yeah, that's his official last name.
Yeah. But in general, Halloween time is just where I can watch movies that have some gore to the minimum and not be illegal. You know?
I think I get you. I mean, gore in general is not illegal at this current... Not yet.
Not yet.
Give it time.
I mean...
What he's saying is that there's gore on TV that you don't see all the time, and it's, like, not real people dying.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's not a snuff film on TV.
Not yet.
But, like, I can watch my sister can watch her favorite Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus.
No!
Just kidding.
Alright, we're going to talk about Hocus Pocus.
No, we're not going to talk about Hocus Pocus.
Let me tell you, Hocus Pocus, we need the blood of a virgin. And that boy a virgin. That movie confirms in Hocus Pocus.
I don't like Hocus Pocus, and I don't like Halloween Town.
Okay, I can understand not liking Halloween Town. How can you not like
Wait.
Hocus Pocus?
Do you forget which one?
I think they're the same thing.
Okay, Hocus Pocus is the one with fucking witches, and they come back.
Yeah. Never mind.
And they're like, I'm gonna put a spell on you.
Yeah, I don't like Halloween Town. But
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is enjoyable.
I fuck with Hocus Pocus.
Okay,
wait, just put the mic on her just so the people hear.
I fuck with Hocus Pocus, but I do not.
Okay,
fuck
she
with Halloween Town.
She was not saying that a week ago. She was sick and tired of Hocus Pocus being on, and she was whining about it, and now she's like this. Tomorrow, Hocus Pocus is gonna be on 24/7 on Freeform.
And I'm gonna complain because I don't want to see it.
But you just said you fuck with Hocus Pocus.
Not a marathon of it. I can watch.
I mean, have you watched Hocus Pocus for 24 hours straight?
No, why would I do that?
All right, new live stream, family live stream on Halloween. We're gonna watch Hocus Pocus for 24 hours.
So
The first person to comment Hocus Pocus is shit gets this live stream.
Gets this live stream of you just hate watching Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus is good, just maybe not 24/7. Did you know Disney Channel, not Disney Channel, but Disney made that movie?
Yes.
It's crazy.
And guess what else they made? Halloween Town.
Yeah,
which
but
I don't like.
The difference is that Hocus Pocus went to theaters and the other one did not. Halloween Town was a Disney Channel exclusive.
Halloween Town was not that good, but it had one redeeming quality. That was the taxi skeleton. That was.
I want to go fast.
Give me that mic.
No.
Give her the
Give
mic.
me the mic.
Mic pass.
All right, guys. Disney Channel, please, if you're hearing this, please,
Because Disney Channel watches the concession stand.
please stop playing Halloween Town.
They don't.
I just want to watch Sky High.
Sky High is not a Halloween movie.
For me, it was scary.
There's nothing scarier than Kurt Russell. He's like, oh, All Might, why are you so very?
Yeah.
That's the mic. All right, are you ready to say something again?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it back to Nux.
What's your guys' favorite horror movie franchise?
Franchise.
Like a
Like there has to be more than one made.
Yeah. Look.
Okay, I got that. I'll mention it right now. I think I've said it before. And I'll say it again. But my favorite franchise is Evil Dead. There's Evil Dead 1. There's Evil Dead 2. There is Army of Darkness, which is not a horror movie, but it's still good. And then there's Ash versus the Evil Dead. And then there's an entire comics where it's like Ash versus Freddy versus Jason, which is also very good. Sam Raimi does them. The effects are amazing. Evil Dead 2 feels like a movie where it's the villains he's fighting aren't trying to kill him. They're just trying to make him go insane and fucking with him in the most mean way possible. Like at one point, the entire house gets possessed and it just starts laughing at him just because it can. And they're very funny movies, and they're also sick and disgusting. Like there's an entire scene where I think a lady just vomits blood on a man for like 3 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
It's great. And so is the TV show and everything else. I'm sad it's gone, but I would say that's my hands down favorite horror franchise. I'm gonna give it to Yowie now. Tell us yours.
All right. It's going to be kind of hard because I really enjoyed the Japanese Grudge series, right? But if we're talking American, hands down for me, it has to be Child's Play. Now, the Cult of Chucky, I still haven't seen because it's just not something that
It's actually pretty good.
this is not something that sparked my interest. But I always liked Child's Play. I liked Child's Play. I liked Nightmare on Elm Street more than I liked Friday the 13th. But wow. But yeah.
That's my Freddy impression.
Oh, but yeah, I think Child's Play is one of my favorites.
Nobody fucks with the Chuck.
Yep.
Nobody. Yeah. Oh, you're passing to me. You don't even give me an intro.
I pass the mic.
Okay.
Mike Pass?
I would actually say that one of my favorite horror franchise, it's probably gonna be Halloween. I always liked Halloween out of all of them. It's my whole thing that it's just this huge dude going around. Like they throw anything at him and he just comes back, even though like it's supposed he's dead. Okay, he's back the next movie. And like the whole cast, like the guy who played Loomis,
Yeah, Professor Loomis.
he acts crazy in most of them, but that's like one of my favorite things that he does. But it's a shame that he's not here.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunate passing.
Yeah, I haven't watched the new Halloween movie yet though. I want to watch it soon though. I think out of all the Halloweens I actually liked, I like the Rob Zombie Halloween. Because it was basically the scariest Michael Myers they could give, because it was just an actual tall guy in a mask and like a fully grown beard, which I would see that Michael Myers would just have the scruffiest beard and look homeless, going around and slashing people.
Do you remember the best kill in Halloween 2 of the Rob Zombie? Where Danny Trejo plays Mike Myers' friend.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, don't mess with my friend. He's a good guy, right?" And then like when he breaks free, he's like, "No, Michael, don't do it." And he starts fucking beating his. He starts smashing his. He starts drowning him. He's like, "No, please,
Oh my
no."
Danny Trejo.
I love Danny Trejo. He's fantastic in Halloween 2.
But what do you feel about Halloween H2O?
I love H2O. It's got a lot of water. That's
Stupid joke.
Thank you.
Halloween H2O. That one's weird to me. Because the whole premise of Halloween 20 years later is that it's Michael coming back after his sister. And when it gets, like, basically to the end of the movie, they have him dead. And then the next movie, he's alive.
You know...
Do you wait, give me the mic, please?
Okay.
Mic pass? Do you remember how the next movie justified him coming back?
Yes.
It was, I'm going to explain it.
Smart enough to...
He switched the bodies. So the guy that she kills at the end is a random dude who's not like Michael Myers at all. Yeah. So she kills a completely innocent person.
She decapitates him too.
Yeah, it's real fucked up. Which is a shame because H2O ends perfectly, I think.
Yeah, 2 was also a good ending that they kill Loomis and they kill Myers. That was a pretty good ending because of the whole fire stunt the guy went through. But H2O also ended good because it had the whole sister's redemption arc that she just straight up kills Michael by chopping off his head with a fire axe.
I agree with that. That's pretty good. One more final Halloween thing. I want to mention it just because I don't get a lot of excuses to talk about this, but I want to give a special Halloween story from my childhood that I've been telling for years, and I'm glad to share it again. So at our elementary school that all three of us went to, they used to. I'm not sure if they do it anymore. Do you know if they still do like the Halloween carnival?
Yeah.
Okay, they still do it. I went there one year with my dad. Our father, who we'll call father. Dad.
Father, fathership.
Papa woke.
The fathership.
Father, dad.
The fathership. I went there with my father. I don't remember what I was dressed up that year. Maybe I was like a ninja. Maybe.
I thought you wore like a sheet over yourself and you were a ghost.
I might have been.
So many costumes. It depends.
Yeah, I've worn a lot of costumes. I remember one year I went as a ninja, and when I put on the ninja mask, I was like, I'm a fucking ninja. And I was like,
do you remember
don't talk to me.
When you were Jar Jar Binks and I was Queen Amidala?
Yes, I do. That was one of the great costumes. I loved Phantom Menace as a kid, and then as you go older, you go, maybe this wasn't as good as I thought it was. Sometimes you get the hard truths. Anyway, so I was there with my dad, and I was bringing... You would play carnival games and you would win candy. So you'd give them tickets, you play the game, and you get candy. I didn't have a bag, so I gave them to my dad to look over. So I go for maybe it's an hour, and I got a lot of candy, and I'm finally ready. And this is after school, so this isn't during school time. So I'm staying after school to do all this shit. And I go to my dad, and I'm like, all right, Dad, where's my candy? And I go back to my father, and I look to the side, and there's a buttload of wrappers. My father ate all my candy that I worked so hard for, and I start crying, and I go, Dad, did you eat all my candy? And he goes, I thought you were giving it to me. And I go, no, you were supposed to save it. And I just end up getting carried away crying from the festival. There's no happy ending. He didn't get me candy or anything. He just fucking ate my candy.
Sounds like something Dad would do.
Yes, it was something our dad would do. Our father is a lovely human being, I should say, but sometimes he acts like a punk. Like the one time I went to the theaters and I went to get us food and I was carrying popcorn in my mouth and I was trying so hard not to fall. And my dad comes running to help me. And then later on when we're sitting down, he says, so yeah, the reason I came to help you was that I was laughing at you, and then a man said, isn't that your son? And I said, oh shit. And so then he rushed downward to help me, and then he helped me. But another great father story, because now I just want to talk about Dad for a little bit.
Okay.
We were at the movie theaters. And then he said to me, it was like, we always show up like 30 minutes before the movie's going to start. So then I'm like alone. Like school had just told me that a bunch of people are just going to rob you for no reason. Like they're just going to take you away if you're left alone. Like stranger danger. So then we're in a dark theater 30 minutes before it's about to start. And my dad says, okay, I'm going to go away for a bit. don't let anyone touch this seat. And he goes away, and I thought that he was like, oh, he's going to be gone for 5 minutes for the bathroom. 15 minutes later, he has not come back. And I'm in the dark, and I'm going, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. And then a lady comes up with a kid, and we're sitting in a way that's like, there's like a lot of space, but we're sitting in a way that's like weird. That's like there's 4 seats, and I'm saving 1 seat to the side. So that means at the last seat on the left, no, on the right, is just 1 seat. So you get the setup. So I was saving that seat, and a lady and her son comes up, and they go like, oh, hi, is anyone sitting there? And I'm like, yes, I'm sitting there. And they're like, yeah, I'm saving the seat for my dad. And she goes like, oh, can you move to the side so that me and my son can sit there? And then I'm afraid now, because this lady, I'm like, I'm not sure if this lady's going to kidnap me. I'm pretty sure this is a trick. She's here with her son because they're here to fucking kidnap fat Hispanic kids. I know this deal. So I go, no, I'm not doing that. And she goes like, oh, okay. And she goes away. And then 5 minutes before the movie starts, my dad's finally here. And he's like, oh, Dad, you won't believe it. A lady tried to like, she said like if I could move over to the side so she could sit there. And my dad with like the wherewithal of like, why didn't you just move to the side? Like, but you told me to stay right here. Don't move. He's like, no, you could just move to the side. It's okay. I'm like, don't fucking leave me alone anymore. How about you don't leave your son in the dark for 30 minutes?
It reminds me of the time that we went to King Taco, and we went to King Taco, all of us, and this guy asked Nux for a moneda. And Nug's response, I don't speak Espanol. And Dad was like, he's just asking for some money. And Nux was just like, oh. But he literally replied, no speak Espanol.
No speak Espanol.
It was but Dad was just looking at Nux and this man would just go up to him, and our dad didn't even say anything until after the fact. And it's just like how growing up has been.
Yeah, that's a definite thing like that.
I think one of the most biggest things I remember with Dad was Las Vegas, but
oh yeah,
the famous Vegas trip.
The most famous Vegas trip.
So my sister and Woke, they went to go see the Jonas Brothers.
Hell yeah!
And
you don't have to leave, put that part in.
Yeah, and then
I'm gonna bleep that out. We went to a concert.
We went to a Marilyn Manson.
We went to
Paul McCartney.
We went to go see
Ringo Starr. We went to go see the Beatles.
I mean,
we went to go see the Doors.
Okay, so we had to go pick him up because the concert was ending soon. So Dad said, do you want to come with me? I said, oh, okay, sure. So then we stand there for like nearly 20 minutes. And I get to the point I was like, Dad, can I go back to the room? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. I said, okay, bye. And so I decided to go by myself through a casino, which I was probably like, how old at the time?
You were probably like
12, wasn't it?
No, because I think I was 16. So 16 minus 7.
I was 7. I was 10.
You were 9.
I was 9. Okay, so yeah, at the year of 9, I managed to go through an entire casino to the elevators.
Fucking Metal Gear Solid style too.
Yes, I waited. Basically, no one was in the elevator, and then I went up to the same floor that I somehow remembered where the room was located, and I knocked on the door and I said, "Hey, Monkey, let me in." And I'm let in. I'm safe at home, and meanwhile,
in the hotel room.
Yeah, at the hotel room. Meanwhile, both Woke, Yowie, and my dad are now panicking that I am nowhere to be seen, and until my dad calls.
No, Mom calls me.
Yeah.
The first thing Dad says to me and Woke was, I lost your brother. Don't tell your mom. And Woke said, what the fuck do you mean you lost their brother? And then I was like, oh shit, well we had to go find him. And I'm looking around.
You gotta go get him.
And we gotta go get him. And my phone rings. And it's our mom. And I'm like, fuck. I had to break the news that we lost her baby child. Like, we lost them. And I'm like, I answer, and I'm like, have you seen Nux? Have you seen him? Yeah, he's right here. And then I'm like, Dad, he's with Mom. And he's like, what? And then we all rushed up into the hotel room, and there he is, sitting in the bathtub. That's it. Yeah, he was just sitting in the goddamn bathtub.
I want to tell you why.
All right, and I'm going to give you my dad's perspective on this, just because our dad has a very heavy accent, and he's also very sarcastic. But heavy accent and sarcastic don't work well with this fucking boy over here called Nux. So what he heard was, yeah, sure, go to the room. What my dad meant was like, yeah, sure, go to the room. Don't wait for us. But the way he did actually say it was, go to the room. Something like that with a very heavy Spanish accent because English is not his first language. So all Nux hears is that. And I also want to bring up another thing is that we were looking for our dad when we left the concert. And when we were leaving the concert, I see him from the back, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be really funny. I'm going to make it look like I put a knife to his throat. Mm-hmm. So I get up to my dad. I grab him from the back, not knowing that he was currently frantically looking for his lost child in Vegas. Put my thumb up to his neck and go like, hey, how's it going? I was like, oh, hey, surprise. And then he tells me the fucking bomb of I lost Nux. And I go, what the fuck do you mean? And we've never been back to Vegas. Nope. Long story short. And that was maybe the most scary time to bring it back all to Halloween is when this dumb boy decided to do that and completely scare our entire family. But not our mom. Because we knew if he was legit lost and we didn't tell Mom until it was too late, she would have a lost child, a dead husband, and 2 kids going up to adoption.
And 2 dead kids, a dead husband, and then a search for the child. Now, here's the post story of what happened as Nux got into the bathtub that we found him in.
I was just gonna say that my favorite thing about the hotel room was just the bathtub. I was gonna say another story that I remember, Dad, which sparked in my mind why we are what we are.
Yeah.
So I would say it was months ago that me, Wokey, and our dad were going to watch a movie, and then suddenly my dad taps my shoulder. He says, "Hey, do you know Mazinger Z?" I said, what? Mazinger what? Mazinger Z? And I was like, Mazinger Z? He's like, yeah, the movie. I said, no. And he decides to bring out his phone and search up the opening to Mazinger Z, the old school version, and show me, I used to watch this in El Salvador. I said, oh. And then I think he also like shoves the phone basically to both of us because he was talking to both of us at the time. Mm-hmm. And like he was just talking about how his childhood just goes around watching Mazinger Z.
Sounds like our childhood.
Yeah. A lot of our stuff comes from our dad, who, as we've learned more and more about his weird childhood in El Salvador, there was like one place in El Salvador where you could rent VHSs and stuff. So and rent comic books, which I did not know you could rent. But he would go there, and apparently that's still there. But yeah, we are the weird amalgamation of our father and our mother.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned one of our uncles, like, likes every Yu Yu Hakusho post.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So, pass me the mic.
Go ahead.
Our father's youngest brother, who is obviously our uncle, every time I post like a Yu Yu Hakusho or some type of anime meme, he's always reacting to it or responding to it. So I think it's genetic what we have, not a hobby. But yeah.
That makes sense. That's also very funny that he would do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that's the good end for this Spooktacular. I want to thank my siblings for coming in at the last second to join us, talk about two movies that they kind of barely remember, then some great Halloween stuff, and then just talk about our dad for a bit, because if we could talk, we like to talk to each other a lot.
We talk to each other
a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it just kind of breaks down into one of us doing a Kermit impression until the other one says stop.
One last dad story that I have that was recent was that our dad tried to kill us on the freeway. So, our dad has this thing that he always thinks that he's going to die, even though he's healthy. And one time we were driving on the freeway, we were going to go eat, and he says, "I'm going to die right now." And he lets go of the steering wheel going 80 miles per hour on the freeway. And all of us are yelling, except for him, because he's laughing.
No, he's just like,
Like a fake,
like a fake, and all of us are like, Dad! And I think that's a good spooky story to end for the fact that all four of us could have died.
Yep, our father brought us into this world, and he could have very easily let us out of it. So yeah, I'll thank both of you, and I just want to talk a little bit about our next coming attraction for Concession Stand. We're not just gonna go away for an entire year. Me and Zen have a very special plan, and that is to watch every movie on the AFI list, which is the American Film Institute's Top 100. We decided to do this just because, might as well go see what the big fuss is about what these movies are so good.
What's an AFI?
American Film Institute.
What's that?
It's an American Film Institute. So the next movie what we will be watching, so get hype, we are going to be watching Yankee Doodle Dandy. Wait, what? Yankee Doodle Dandy, get ready.
that sounds like the best thing you could ever record.
It's true. Number 100 on the top 100 list.
Can I get like a sneak peek of what it's about, or no?
It is a musical about the creation of America's first hit song, Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Okay.
Yankee Doodle ding it up,
I was about
Yankee
to
Doodle
ask that
Dandy.
To Yowie,
Down
do
the
you
world.
remember the lyrics to Yankee Doodle
Something-
Dandy?
Doodle went to town
Riding on a pony.
Took a little in his head and called him macaroni.
Yankee Doodle ding it up, Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yankee Doodle, keep it up and let the girls be handy.
So get ready for that next episode. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. Thank you to my brother and sister. Say goodbye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.